realizing about Kendrick. Kendrick is he's lacked the level of respect or even handle these guys like with any type of decorum. I mean, he's been doing it since Control. He said I heard it talking to barbershop all the time is who's the greatest, me, Jigga, or Nas or something like that. And then he mentions Eminem, Andre 3000, and he says the rest of y'all is just new dudes. Just don't even get involved in this. And he never really respected his peers, and I think always. I'm going to blame this whole thing on J. Cole, really. J. Cole's been the one trying to walk in the middle, the little brother, so to speak, the middle child, trying to keep his hands around the two other brothers that really want to go at it. And he's been saying this Big Three shit this whole time. Yo, it's Big Three, it's us, it's us, it's us. Like, Kendrick never looked at the whole time was like, who's us? Like, I don't fucking shit. So, I mean, two things occurred, right? Him and Drake should have already kicked off. But something happened along the line where his relationship with J. Cole severed. And that you could actually see it being documented from when they were first linked and seen in the studio and they were supposed to do an album.
Yeah, you've been hearing about this J. Cole Kendrick album forever, but you've never heard any songs or any progress or nothing. But then again, just to be fair, Kendrick's had a lot of albums, like the Black Hippie album never came out. That's with his old label mates. So it seems like Kendrick is just doing Kendrick the whole time.
Punch used to tease it, like, hey, they got a couple projects. Ab-Soul went on, while he was on the Breakfast Club one time, he was asked about it. Yo, what's up with this Kendrick and J. Cole project? He's like, nah, it exists, it's coming. Punch was like, yeah, we're waiting on them. Like, but it's happening. And then years later, when a fan finally said, yo, we need a couple tracks, he was like, nah, this ain't ever coming, it's over. And that was kind of abrupt where people were just like, oh, they're just not gonna put it out. But I have to imagine something along the line happens, and I really think that, I think Kendrick and Drake were parents fighting over custody of J. Cole. Drake wanted custody in family court, and of course, Kendrick a little mad, you know what I mean? I think that's what happened, because the way he does both of them, he acted like he don't even have a relationship with them, which I imagine he doesn't really have one with Drake. Drake back in the day when he did Control, his demeanor was, are we really dissing or we're rapping? Like, I can't tell it because you're not standing on it. I think his line specifically was, hey, you're going to call my name out to get a moment, and then you're going to just say you're just rapping. Well, that's not how I do it. Like, usually if you're going to call my name on it, you're going to stand on whatever you say. So, I'm still blaming this whole thing on J. Cole. He's been acting like these three are kumbaya. I mean, the culture's kind of wanted them to be kumbaya. And,
And then J. Cole came out with, a couple of records, but 7 Minute Drill was the main one.
Yeah.
He said, I came up in the Ville, so I'm good when it's tension. He's still doing shows, but fell off like The Simpsons. First shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Second shit put N-words to sleep, but they gassed it.
Yeah.
Your third shit was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, and I just now hit mine.
Hey, this is hip hop chess at the highest level. I've always said when Drake defeated Meek Mill, we gave him more credit than he really deserved. Meek is one of the, I think we have now accepted, he's one of the dumbest rappers, period. I'm pretty sure, there's an infamous picture where he's playing checkers on the chessboard. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the same, wait.
No,
a chessboard and a checkerboard is the same board.
Okay, but he's playing with chess pieces. Okay, and he makes a irrational move where he says, hey, you gotta play chess like a king. And he moves the king in front of all the pawns. It's crazy. Just on a chess level, he has no idea how to play the game. You get what I'm saying?
Got it.
The point of what I'm trying to say, this is not a guy who's someone who's intellectually savvy, and as much as people think about rap beefs at the highest level, a lot of it is not only lyrical, how you respond, it's timing, how you respond, the moment you pick. The moment Kendrick picked was amazing. Right. It's on an album that's already aimed at kind of letting the culture know, this guy that you guys think we all love, we don't fuck with this dude. Metro and Future put this album, we don't like this guy. He comes in on a very strategic part to say,
wait, so are you saying that album title, We Don't Trust You,
it's all about
is about Drake?
Of course,
they don't like
him.
Drake?
Yes.
But Future had a whole project.
Metro don't like him.
But Future had a whole album with Drake that ended up being a bigger album than the one he has with Metro.
That's a little bit of the confusing part, but there's been rumors that Future and Drake aren't on the same terms. So Future apparently felt a certain way that Drake did this album with Savage. He felt that way, allegedly, because if you go back to when What a Time to Be Alive was made, it was made at a unique point where Drake just came off of the Meek issues, and those issues, a lot of people were like, yo, this is a soft dude beefing with the street guy. He needed that cosign from the streets, right? That cosign was Atlanta. That cosign was Future. He stood next to Future as Future just came off a historic 3-run album, a mixtape. Then he dropped his album, right? And then they did What a Time to Be Alive, right? So now Drake is almost like untouchable, right? So Drake comes back around, and by the way, this is the only hypocrite. I can't even speak. This is the only like hypocritical part of the whole thing is that Future have done joint albums with other people too. Like he's done one with Thug, he's did one with the late Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
He's done one with other people. However, I think the reason why he felt a way is that if you're gonna come back to do one with an Atlanta rapper, a street rapper, years later, why do you go with Savage? Why don't you go with him? Now, I don't know if Savage and him also has a little weird things. You know it's Atlanta. Niggas be beefing, you don't know. I don't know about that. But from what was said is that he always felt a way about that. Right? Now, of course, there's internet like gossip saying that there's women in between them. That's a little bit more far-fetched, just given the fact that like these guys, if you know anything about like some of the underlings of like some of the industry parties, and I don't even go out and I know some of this stuff, these guys basically go to Miami, set up shop, have 59 private parties where they invite 400 girls, and it's like 50 of them and their guys, and they fuck all the girls. You get what I mean? It's almost like the OVO FBG freak off, right? You know what I'm saying? So for me to hear or believe that there's one girl that has caused worldwide, like, I'm not saying that hasn't happened in history between powerful men, but I'm like, hey, let's just put this in perspective. Their biggest record, we're talking about two guys who have probably grossed over $50 million just doing records with each other, right? We're talking about guys with diamond records. Life is Good is a diamond record. Wait for you, it's about to be a diamond record. They've done albums together that's gone multi-platinum. We're talking about these guys just collaboration-wise is worth so much. I can't believe that pillow talking. Hey, he says you have a small penis. I don't know what was that. Hey, he says you can. Who knows what's that? You're telling me that's gonna break up an entire dynasty? So it gotta be more. I do think there's probably some, Drake also is petty, right? What we've realized about Drake is that when Drake starts to have a problem with you, one of the first things he does is, on a very passive note, will do things to maybe mess with you or your mental when it comes to women. We just seen him with Ross. Ross unfollowed him, now champing, bumping the Kendrick diss in a whip. You know what he says? Okay, you know that girl you was like, kissing all on in front of your private jet? Well, now I'm gonna write her a handwritten note to come to my show with tickets. Like, come on, petty shit. But, at that level, as millionaires, you still feel a way because it's disrespect, right? But do I think that's the reason why Future and Drake are beefing now? It has to be much deeper, and I'm almost thinking that we just don't know the full reason, and it's just multivariable.